A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant diplomatic move, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskiy is set to meet with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer in London on Thursday, just one day before a highly anticipated summit between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska. This meeting comes at a critical juncture as Zelensky seeks to rally European support in the face of ongoing Russian aggression and to ensure that any discussions between Trump and Putin do not undermine Ukraine's territorial integrity. Zelenskyy's visit to London is aimed at solidifying alliances and setting red lines ahead of the Alaska summit, where he hopes to prevent any agreements that would allow Russia to further encroach on Ukrainian territory. The meeting at 10 Downing Street is scheduled for 9:30 a.m. local time, 8:30 GMT, and follows Zelenskyy's participation in a virtual conference with European leaders, including Trump, where the importance of a united front against Russia was emphasized. In the lead-up to the summit, tensions have escalated, with Ukraine launching drone strikes against Russian positions, which Kyiv describes as necessary retaliation against Moscow's continuous missile attacks on its civilians. The ongoing conflict, which has claimed tens of thousands of lives and displaced millions since Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022, has created a dire situation for Ukraine, making Zelenskyy's diplomatic efforts even more crucial. During his discussions with Trump, Zelenskyy warned that Russian President Putin was merely bluffing regarding his intentions to end the war. Trump, who has expressed a willingness to impose severe consequences on Russia if peace is not achieved, also hinted at the possibility of a follow-up meeting involving Zelenskiy if the initial talks go well. However, the uncertainty surrounding the outcome of the summit has left Ukraine on edge, especially given that Zelenskyy has not been invited to participate in the direct talks between Trump and Putin. Starmer, reinforcing the UK's commitment to Ukraine, stated that there is now a viable chance for a ceasefire, driven by the collaborative efforts of the Coalition of the Willing, which includes military backers from various nations. The Prime Minister highlighted the urgency of the situation, noting that the conflict has persisted for over 3 years without a clear path to resolution. As the summit approaches, Zelenskyy and his allies are acutely aware of the stakes involved. The fear is that Trump and Putin could negotiate terms that would leave Ukraine vulnerable, potentially forcing painful concessions that could embolden further Russian aggression. Zelenskyy has been vocal in rejecting any notion of surrendering territory to Russia, emphasizing that Ukraine must remain steadfast in its sovereignty. The backdrop of this diplomatic maneuvering is a stepped-up Russian offensive, with reports indicating that Russian forces have made advances in certain regions of Ukraine. The ongoing military actions underscore the precarious situation facing Ukraine as it navigates these high-stakes talks. Zelenskyy's meetings with European leaders, and now with Starmer, are part of a broader strategy to ensure that Ukraine's interests are prioritized in any discussions that take place. As the world watches, the outcome of the Trump-Putin summit could have far-reaching implications not only for Ukraine, but for the stability of Europe as a whole. Zelenskyy's efforts to secure a united front among European allies are more critical than ever, as the potential for a ceasefire hangs in the balance. With both military and diplomatic channels being tested, the coming days will be pivotal in shaping the future of Ukraine and its fight against Russian aggression. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.